นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ Hello everyone. Today we have the Dhamma discussion. Oh, I just found out that the link that I give it to you, maybe I'm not sure that you can you like use it or not, because it's just like hello Greg, good morning. I'm not sure that you can use the link that I provide or not, so I'm gonna send you again one more time. Hello Gita Brown. Okay, today gonna discuss about the navigating the path, right? Choosing between darkness and light. So I already post 3 links for you, because we're gonna discuss 3 sutta, 3 discourse today. Okay. First, yes, as the title, as a topic for today's Dharma talk, navigating the path, choosing between the darkness and light. So today we're gonna learn the sutra that the Buddha talk about 4 kinds, 4 types of people found in the world. It's about darkness, it's about the light, and also at the end of the talk, then we're gonna discuss about the word darkness and the word light, and what quality that we should cultivate in order to go to the light. Okay, this is from Tamothama Sutra, Anguttara Nikaya, AN number 4.85. The Buddha said, these 4 people are found in the world. What 4? The dark bow for darkness, the dark bow for light, the light bow for darkness, and the light bow for light. Hello, Brian. So these 4 people that can be found in the world. So now we know, like, okay, there's the dark and the light, and then they bow for darkness and light, right? Hello, Pumika. And also I'm gonna, talk about another sutra, which is the next one, Anguttara Nikaya number 4.86. The Buddha said just the same. These 4 people are found in the world. Number 1, the one who sunk low, one who sunk low, who sinks lower, one sunk low, who rises high, one rises high, rising high, who sinks low, and one rising high, who rises higher. So the content is the same. So now we can see, like, okay, there's the concept of darkness and light, and low or high. The Buddha, the first one that the Buddha mentioned, how is a person dark and bow for darkness? Is when a person is reborn in a low family, a family of corpse workers, bamboo workers, hunters, chariot makers, or scavengers, poor. So this is like the concept of the low family in the Buddha's era. But in the present time, the one who reborn poor, with little to eat or drink, where life is tough and food and shelter are hard to find, and they are not so good looking, ugly, unsightly, deformed, sickly, one eye, crippled, lame, or half paralyzed. So the one who born poor, hard to find something to eat, hard to find shelter, and also not so good looking, and might be like, not, not born with a, not so healthy. They don't get to have food, drink, clothes, and vehicle, garlands, fragrance, and makeup, or bed, house, and lighting. And they do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind. When their body breaks up after death, they are reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, hell. That's how a person is dark and bound for darkness. So now we know the person is dark, the dark person here in the, the concept dark, or the one that the Buddha said, like, in the low position, right? Who are they? The one who are reborn in the low family, poor, not healthy, not good looking, and hard to find food, shelter, and things that they desire. It's hard for them to get those, necessity in life. And also in this very life, even though it's tough, they still choose to do bad things, by way of body, speech, and mind. They still, steal someone's belonging. They still kill living creatures. They still, do the sexual misconduct. They still tell lies and think, like, I want to, with the greed, always greedy, always like, like with the hatred, and also have the wrong view. So this is like they do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind. So when they die, they're gonna be reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, hell. This is the first type of people who can be found in this world. The next one, how is a person dark and bound for light? Is when a person is reborn in a low family, poor, not healthy, not good looking, but they do good things by way of body, speech, and mind. After death, they are reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm. That's how a person is dark and bound for light. So this is the different path that they choose, right? Even though they're reborn in a low family, just like the first type of people, but they choose to do good deeds, choose to do good things. So after death, they're gonna be reborn in a good place. So this is like bow for light. The third one, how is a person light and bow for darkness? It's when a person is reborn in an eminent family, like a well-to-do family of aristocrats, Brahmins, and householders, rich, affluent, and wealthy, with lots of gold and silver, like lots of money, lots of assets, lots of property and assets, and lots of money and grain. And they are attractive, good-looking, lovely, of surpassing beauty. They get to have food, drinks, clothes and vehicle, garlands, fragrance and makeup, and bed, house and lighting. But they do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind. When their body breaks up after death, they are reborn in a place of loss, a bad place, hell. That's how a person is light and bound for darkness. So this kind of people we can see a lot, right? Someone like, wow, they're just so lucky. They are born, rich, and they're still healthy and beautiful. What they want is just like they always get what they want, right? It's not like us, like we have to work so hard to get to earn the money, but they're just born like so wealthy with all the money and fame and power, but they choose to do bad deeds. They still, do bad deeds, do unwholesome actions by way of body, kill people, steal others' belongings, be like the adultery, be like the, sexual misconduct. And they still have the greed, the hatred, and the wrong view. When they have the wrong view, they lead the wrong life, right? Even though we said like, oh, I'm just so, envious for this kind of people. But you know that the Buddha said, when they die, they're going to be reborn in a bad place. Why? Because now when they're still breathing, they choose to do bad deeds. So they're going to have the bad consequences. Maybe in this very life, even though it's not, die yet, they're going to have the bad consequences. And after death, they're going to have the bad consequences in another, another world, a place of loss, a bad place, hell. So this is like, we can see in the news, right? Some people who do bad deeds and they get the bad consequences, but not, just right away, but maybe like 10 years or maybe like 30 years, like in the cold case, murder case or something like that. And then we can see like, even though it's going to take a long time for that case, but we can see that they will get what they have done in the past. So just like the Buddha said, you reap what you sow, right? You're going to get you're going to get the consequence of what you have done. So this is the third kind of people. And the last one, how is a person light and bound for light? Is when a person is reborn in an eminent family, rich, healthy, attractive, and they still choose to do good deeds, good things by way of body, speech, and mind. After death, they are reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm. That's how a person is light and bound for light. So, this discussion is just so short. It's just like this. The Buddha mentioned about the 4 types of people that can be found in the world, and like explain each types of people. But actually, when we think, when contemplate about this, these kind of people that we see every day, like, right? Some people, they're so poor. It's hard for them to, earn money. Like now we have like the new group of people to come to, do the work in the monastery. They ask us for, can you accept us, and then we can have money. And then we say like, okay, even though we don't have that much money, but okay, because they just stay, I think 5 people altogether, mother, father, and then 3 children, living in just one old shelter, not a house, just like small shelter. And they don't have, bathroom. It's just the shelter in the rice field. In Thailand, they just like the temporary shelter. And they have to stay there because they don't have like the direct relative. They don't have like no more parents for like no grandparents to take care. They just have like the long distance relative or something like that. Then they move to this province, so they stay in the temporary shelter, no bathroom, and all the children have to clean themselves, like not take a shower because they don't have the bathroom, right? They have to clean themselves in the river, in the small river. And they say like, oh, so itchy because the river is not clean. It's in the middle of the rice field. and people use like all the chemical things on the rice field, right? And they say like, oh, itchy, and they don't have the bathroom. They have just the shelter. So we say like, okay, you can come, both parents, father and mother, and the eldest son. You can come and then work with us for the food and for the money to pay for the sick child. And we just like, wow, you're like, some people are this poor, even, yeah, like it's, they say like it's lucky for them to have just a shelter. So some people are born poor, but at least they come to work with us in monastery, like, and then they have a chance to make merit. They have a chance, like to listen to what the Buddha said. At least they are sincere, they are honest, they have the precepts, they don't steal things. At least they can keep like the precepts, and that, even though it's hard for them, right? But they say like, okay, I'm gonna do good deeds. I'm gonna do good deeds for the monastery. I'm gonna do good deeds for the Buddha, something like that. And I'm pretty sure, as the Buddha said, even though it's hard, your life is tough, but if you choose your life wisely, then good things gonna happen to you. Just like now, I'm not gonna say like, okay, it's good fortune for them to work with us, but at least when we do the alms round, right, and we have food, and then we can give them the food for them who work in the monastery and also for their children. Like for today, they don't work here. We still give them food anyway. Okay. So yeah, so what's important from this discourse is that actually you can choose. It's not about how we are born, we born with the wealth or not, we born with the strong and good physical or not, or are we born with the power or the fame or like good environment or not. We cannot choose, right? Maybe you choose in the past life, but I think like we cannot choose like which family I'm gonna be reborn with. I cannot choose like, oh, they're wealthy, or they have the wrong view or the right view, or do they have like the enough food for me. We cannot choose that. But now that we are breathing, we can choose which path for us to go, which deeds, which actions for us to like to do, which direction to pursue, or something like that. And this is from the Tammo Tamma Sutra, right? And also, this is like the evidence in another sutra, Talita Sutra, from SN 11.14. The Buddha mentioned about the one who used to be a human, a poor one, a pitiful human. But if they do good deeds, they can be reborn in the heaven. The Buddha said in Talita Sutra that once upon a time there was a poor and pitiful person. They took up faith, ethics, learning, generosity, and wisdom in the teachings and training proclaimed by the realized one. After undertaking these things, when their body broke up after death, they were reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm, in the company of the gods of the 33 Tawatingsa. Tawatingsa, heaven is the number second, the second heaven. There, they outshone the other gods in beauty and glory. Not only be reborn in the heavenly realm, but outshone, outshine the other gods in beauty and glory. So the one who used to be a human that is, poor and pitiful, but if they take up faith, ethics, learning or listening, sutta in Pali, generosity and wisdom, these 5 qualities in the teachings and training of the Buddha, then you can be reborn in the heavenly, in the good place, good destination, and outshine other gods in beauty and glory. Then the Sakka, like when the Buddha mentioned this, other gods in Tawatingsa, in the 33 heavenly realm, they complained, grumbled, and objected like, oh, how incredible, how amazing. For when this God was a human being and their past life, they were poor, pitiful. And when they die, their body broke up after death. They were reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm, in the company of the gods of 33. Sorry, the end. Here they outshone other gods in beauty and glory. So other gods complain, right? And then the Sakka. Sakka is the Lord of gods. Address the other god that, good sir, don't complain about this God. When this God was a human being in the past life, they took up faith, ethics, learning, generosity, and wisdom in the teachings and training of the Buddha. So that's why here they outshone other gods in beauty and glory. And then the Sakka, the Lord of gods, said, recited the verse, whoever has faith in the realized one, unwavering and well-grounded, whose ethics conduct is good, praised and loved by the noble ones, who has confidence in the Sangha, the noble disciple, and correct view, they are said to be prosperous. Their life is not in vain. So let the wise devote themselves to faith, ethical behavior, confidence, and insight into the teachings, remembering the instructions of the Buddhas. So this is from the Talita Sutra, right? So this is very interesting to point out. Whoever has faith in the realized one, unwavering and well-grounded. Faith has to come with the panya or the wisdom. When the faith comes with the wisdom, that faith unshaken, unwavering and well-grounded. Why? If you have only, the pure faith but no wisdom, it's just like you believe blindly. Oh, that person say it's good. Okay, I know it's good. You should do this. I follow them blindly without even, like, is it real? Should I trust that? I haven't seen it myself, but I just heard and then I believe it. Should I do like this or something like that? You don't, doubt about the teachings of that person, right? So it's just, if you have faith but without wisdom, it's just pure belief, pure like, just like you follow, like someone pull you in any direction and you just blindly, blind yourself, blindfolded, and then you follow them. It's not the right thing. The Buddha mentioned here in the insi, I don't know, like I don't know in English, but like something like the pala, the power. Like the faith has to come with the wisdom, because If you have the wisdom, like, okay, this is real, this can be, investigate and can be proof tested by me. Pachatang. I know it myself. I see that suffering is real. Transient. Yeah, it's transient. It's not me, it's not self, it's real. And that faith is not just like blindly follow what people say, but for the fact that it's real because I know and I see for myself. So that faith is called like unshaken, unwavering, and well grounded. This is like important thing to point out that when you have faith, then you need to have wisdom as well. And also ethical conduct is good if that person's conduct is good, praised and loved by the noble ones. What is the ethical conduct that is praised and loved by the noble ones? It means that ethical conduct comes with the wisdom. It's just the same thing. Everything has to use the wisdom, right? If you keep the precept for the sake of keeping only, like, they say like I should keep 5 precepts and I keep 5 precepts. And when people ask you, why do you keep the precept? I don't know. People say that I should do, so I just keep it. That's it. It's not the conduct that is praised by the noble ones. Or when you keep the precept, just like, I think I'm gonna keep the precept, like the 8th precept. Number 6, do not eat after lunch, right? Why do you keep that precept? I want to, be in good shape. I want to lose some weight. So I stay in the monastery, eat just like 2 meals a day, keep the 8th precept. That is not the conduct that is praised and loved by the noble one because you keep the precept with greed, with desire, with the wrong view, with the illusion, ignorance, delusion, ignorance. So ethical conduct that is good, praised, and loved by the noble one means ethical conduct that comes with the wisdom. You know why you do it. You know why you keep it. You know that the importance of it. And also here, who has confidence in the Sangha, the noble disciple, that they're real. There are still people who, try to train themselves to follow the word of the Buddha, and they are, still exist. And also the correct view, have the right view. These people who have the faith, the ethical conduct, confidence, and correct view, they're said to be prosperous. Their life is not in vain. This life, this body comprised of the earth element, water element, air element, and then fire element, right? But if you use this body to do bad deeds, you're going to have bad consequence. If you use this body to do, good deeds, and good consequence, right? But if you use this body to follow the noble eightfold path, then you can use this body to be liberated from the cycle of rebirth. You can choose which path to follow. Why do I have to mention that? If you do bad deeds, bad consequence, right? Good deeds, good consequence, good destination. So still reborn in the heavenly realm. Be reborn to receive the good consequence. But if you choose the path, the noble eightfold path, that is the direct path to the nibbana, nirvana, true liberation, true awakening, that means you try to get out of the samsara, get out of rebirth, no more birth for me. So you don't have to, reborn in the bad destination, reborn in the good destination, no more rebirth for me. So actually you can choose which path for you to follow. It's up to you. When you have this body, when you still, see me in this session, hear me, that means you are in the human form. You can listen, you can see, you can practice, you can use this body and mind in the direction, in the path yet that you think that whatever that, which path that you would like to go. But please not go to the bad destination. Okay. So the faith, ethics, learning or listening, this is sutta in Pali. Sutta in Pali, actually, sutta means listening. Pahu sutta is that means you listen a lot, because in the Buddha's era, you don't have like the scriptures, things like that. They just talk and learn by like remembering, speaking and then remembering, right? So sutta here actually mean listening, but nowadays they use the word learning, because you can listen, you can read, you can learn. That means learning. Faith, ethics, learning or listening, generosity, jaka, and wisdom. This is something that is the qualities that can make your life not in vain. Another evidence is found in the Vati Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 10.74, 74, no, AN 10.74. Vati Sutta, this is the sutra about growth. The Buddha said, a noble disciple who grows in 10 ways grows nobly, taking on what is essential and excellent in this life. What 10? I can tell you. 5 is for the worldly growth, and another 5 is for the, what is it? In the holy life growth. The first 5, he grows in fields and lands. Think as in the Buddha's era. In that time, if you grows in fields and lands, wow, wealthy, right? Grows in money and grain. Yeah, grain is important. Need to have rice, to have grain to eat, to, like for consumption. Grows in wife and children. In bond servants, worker and staff, and also in livestock. And then he grows in faith, ethics, learning, generosity, and wisdom. Someone who grows in money and grain, in wives, children, and livestock is wealthy, famous, and respected by relatives and friends, and even by royals. When someone grows in faith and ethics, wisdom, and both generosity and learning, a good man such as he sees clearly, and in the present life he grows in both ways, worldly growth and holy life growth as well. So why do I have to mention all of this? Because I just want you to see that these 5 qualities are very important. Faith with wisdom, ethics with wisdom, learning, listen a lot to the Dhamma, to the Buddha's teachings. Why? Because it's useful. The Buddha's teaching is the truth, actually. You can learn, you can listen, and then you can contemplate, and then you learn for yourself, like, is it real or not? Is it the truth or not? Is it beneficial? You can, like judge by yourself. But yeah, learning, listening a lot, listen a lot, generosity and wisdom. These are the 5 qualities that are so important to make this life not in vain, to make this life useful, that you are born and then you can make use of this life like wisely. Okay, and this is it. This is the, you know, just want you to have the concept of, you can choose the life, navigating the path. You can choose between, darkness and light. You're gonna go with the ignorance or not? Are you gonna choose wisdom? You're gonna choose wholesome qualities, or you're gonna choose unwholesome qualities. Actually, it's up to you. The word kamma means action, action with intention. So it's actually mean action or intention. It's not about, bad karma in my past life. We don't talk about things in past life. From the sutra that, like we learned today, actually think of this present moment, this life. Don't blame like, I'm not born in the good place, good environment. My family do not have, that much money. They cannot provide me with blah, blah, blah. My life is just so tough. I was born in just like so poor. It's something in the past. You cannot choose where to be reborn, right? But now, when you are alive right now, don't mention about the past. It's about the present moment. What you choose to do, what you choose to think, what you choose to speak, what you choose to act, what you choose to cultivate and abandon is actually up to you. Which path for you to lead? So think carefully where you want to go. Darkness or light, lower or higher, or out of samsara. Okay. So now is the question and answer. Isabel, good morning. Dharma learner said, good morning, Ayya, and to all joining in today. Hope you are well safe. Thank you for these talks. Hello, Maria. Hello, Yankee Apple. Hello, Sus. Dharma learner said, hi, Ayya. Your description of the family living in the rice field is very hard to reconcile with my limited understanding of karma, having been immersed in the culture of the US. Your description of that situation is surreal, and we have bad conditions here in our society too. To realize it as karma is so hard with my understanding of society. I need to see more clearly of my surrounding thing. Actually, like we can see the poor, we can see like in every place, someone who poor, someone who rich, right? And someone who like for the homeless people, right? Hard to find the shelter, hard to find the food, hard to find like the necessity in life. Yeah. But if they say like, okay, even though my life is like this, even though I'm homeless, even though life is so tough for me, but I still gonna choose to do what is right. I'm not gonna steal. I'm not gonna kill. I'm not gonna take drugs. And if they can choose that, I'm sure that people gonna, like see that, oh, this guy is actually a nice guy. Why don't we give them like an opportunity, from homeless to someone who have a job, right? It's just like when we see, for example, if if we are like the the boss, someone who is rich, like the boss, right? Employer, right? Employer, right? Yeah. And when we gonna choose someone who work with us, of course, the education, right? Or someone who's smart. But if there are two smart people, that A, A is smart, but they don't have precepts. They don't have good qualities in that person. Like grumpy, moody, always steal, and bad reputation. Maybe like sexual misconduct, things like that. And they're gonna lie to you a lot. Don't have any discipline, bad manners, things like that. Not honest, not sincere. Another person, even moody, grumpy, but sincere, have precepts. They don't know, maybe they don't know about the precept, but they don't tell lies. They're honest. They don't steal your belongings. You can trust that person. Even though like they don't talk, nicely, but you can trust that person. These two, who you gonna hire, right? For me, I'm gonna choose B. Even though like not so pleasant to work with, but at least I can trust that person. At least I can feel like, yeah, this person, if they are nice, if they have like good qualities in them, they should have the opportunity. You should give them a chance to, like to work for you or something like that. It's just like for the homeless, for example, for the homeless, like born poor, maybe born poor or not, but now they're poor, hard to find shelter. But if they still like, okay, I'm not gonna steal, I'm not gonna kill, I'm not gonna take drugs. I want a job. I want, like to to have the right job and, like earn money by myself, not to do bad deeds or, like to break the law or something like that. And when you see like, oh, they still have the loving kindness, they still smile, they still, sincere and honest. Okay, I'm gonna give that person a chance to do good deeds in their life. Maybe, like offer them a job or something like that. So it's like something that you can choose to do, and actually be strong enough to choose the right actions. For me, I think it needs strength to do good deeds for some people, right? Because if their life is so tough, they need to be strong to say like, I'm not gonna steal. I'm just maybe beg for food, but I'm not gonna steal that food from someone else. Something like that. And also one thing that actually I think of something, Paralympic, right? That after the Olympic, they have the Paralympic for the disabled, right? And there's like the huge news in the big news in Thailand, because the one, I think the one lady who had like 5 medals in the Paralympic in the sword fighting or something like that. And she said like she used to spend like 4 years wishing to die. Why did she choose or wish to die? She said like in the past she was poor. She had to work in the factory, like a labor in the factory, and still poor. And one day she got, hit and run. Someone hit her and then run, and then disabled. She cannot work just the same. She cannot use, I don't know, the legs maybe, or she cannot use the legs. And she said life is, in the past poor, but now life is tougher for her. So she wished to die all the time. But after she was an athlete in the Paralympic, now 4 years, she used this time to train herself to compete in the Paralympic. And she said, in the past 4 years for me, I wish to die. But now 4 years for me, I train myself to be better. And now she won the medals. And this story, like struck me today. Like, yeah, it's just like in this sutra. You can choose the life for you instead of blaming someone who hit and run me, instead of blaming like people who do bad deeds to you in the past. Blame yourself, blame the family, blame the society, blame many people, blame the fortune, blame the luck, blah blah blah, instead of blaming or feel sorry or stuck in the sadness and suffering. Choose the life now that, okay, I'm not gonna stuck in that feeling anymore. I'm gonna choose the path to light, to something that's good, even though it's hard, but I'm gonna choose to do right deeds. Yeah, this is something that I would like to share. Hello Joseph, นมัสการเหรอแม่ Hello Jim, hello Phumika. Any question or any story to share to all of us about, choosing your own path, choosing your own light? Like for me, I now I'm still, like in the path that I have chosen, right? I chose this path to be like the monastic. So this is the life for me to choose. Choose to try to follow the words of the Buddha in the training, in the teaching of the Buddha, the Blessed One, in order to cut short, the life in samsara. This is the path that I choose. Even though it's hard, it's not fun. It's kind of hard, challenging. We're gonna say like problem, we're gonna say challenging path. But if you like if you contemplate, like if you compare the life as for me, like as the lay people, and now I think now it's better, even though it's more challenging, but I feel like freer, more free, and I like less suffering. Like when people gonna encounter with suffering, right? Even the lay people or the monastic, we just the same. The 8 things that like with us, like wealth. When you gain wealth, then you lost wealth, right? When you gain fame and you lost the fame. Praise and gossip, suffering and happiness. This is the 8 thing that like we're gonna see, we're gonna encounter and gonna experience in. If you are born, you're gonna encounter with these 8 things. So it's normal for us people as a human being that we're gonna encounter with this. So before we listen to the Dhamma, before we learn about this, that it's just normal for us to like, have money, no money, have new promotion, now we get fired from the workplace, something like that. Before we listen to the Buddha's teaching, you feel so like so sad, so attached to that feelings, right? So sad, suffering. But when you know that it's normal, when you got promoted, be mindful. One day you can get fired. Things can change. And when you get fired, be mindful that things can change. Anicang, you're gonna get new job anyway. Things can change. And when you learn about it, the more you learn about it, the more you contemplate about it, then the life is, gonna be like easier. Shari said, I need to hear that. Lately I've been dwelling on the past. Yeah, the Buddha said, like I want to don't like linger, or don't live your life regret the past. Why? Because it's gone. The past is gone already. But you still cling on to the past and it suffer, right? It's gone already. It's in the past already. Let the bygone be bygone. Just like that. And have to think in Thai อย่าคาดหวังในอนาคต you don't expect the future, do not wish for the future to be like this, like that. Why? Because it can change. It can change, depends on many factors, right? Tomorrow I'm gonna go to work at 8 p.m. I'm gonna go, the first person in the company. Things can change. Maybe tomorrow's raining. Maybe tomorrow your car broken or something like that. Things can change. So do not wish, do not expect the future to be like this, like that. Because if you expect it to be like this and it change, hurt your feeling. All the plan is gone, something like that. So live, the Buddha said, live in the present moment. If you think like now, reflect, contemplate. 24 hours. How many hours or how many minutes that we really live in the present moment? Most of our time spent in the past or in the future, right? But not stay in the present moment. So ask yourself, in 24 hours, how many hours or how many minutes do I really live in the present moment? How can I say like, I live the moment? Are you really living in the present moment? Past, past again. The future again. Go to the past again. Go to the future again. Past again. So try to live in the present moment. Joseph asks, how should handle it when a parent takes a bad path? For example, if a parent does not have good ethics, is hateful and angry, we may have taken a better path now, but they are going down a bad path. Or for example, if a parent's drug use harm us at birth, but they continue to do this thing, we can share marriage, but anything else? Actually, it's kind of hard when it comes to the parents, right? First, now we have the knowledge. We know what is right, what is wrong. We do the right path, right? We follow the right path. And we try to I'm thinking like maybe tell the parents, good or bad. But normally parents do not listen to us, right? They don't listen to us children. It's hard for them to listen to us children. Take the Venerable Sariputta as an example. He can teach like all the people and make them, like enlightened. But his mother is actually the last person that he, like can guide to get the enlightened. Actually, his mother got Sotapanna, the first kind of noble disciple right before he, like parinipana or he passed away. So, and if you study the life of the Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta, it's very hard for him to teach his mother. So it's kind of hard for us as a children to teach the parents to, have the right view. But first, maybe you do it yourself first, because sometimes when we say, they don't listen. But if they see that, oh, my son's life is better. Oh, my son's life is, like people respect him because of the good conduct, the good ethics. Why? What are you doing? How can you do that? If they see us living our best life, living, like happily and wisely, if they see, then it's sometimes like it's something that we can make them believe better than we, say like this is good, this is bad, because it's hard for the parents to listen to children. And also about the drug use, they continue to do these things, so it's kind of hard, right, for the drugs. Maybe you need to consult the doctor. How can we, maybe consult the doctor, how to make them like sober, or maybe go to the hospital or something like that. And after that, try to, step by step, let them see for themselves what is good and what is bad. Maybe it's just like, do you really live? Are you really happy now that you used the drug or something like that? Yeah. To answer your question, let them see, not listen, because they don't listen to us. But convince them, yeah, this is the word I try to remember. Convince them by let them see for themselves, if they can see for themselves. So first, maybe you like take them to the hospital, or consult the doctor, like how to make them, like sober, be mindful first, ready to listen, ready to see first, and then let them see for themselves. Dhamma dana, to give the Dhamma, there are three types to give the Dhamma dana. The first one, by speaking. For me, when I'm giving a Dhamma, I speak to you, right? And you listen, right? So to give the Dhamma is by speech, by speaking, the first one. Second one, พูดให้ฟัง ทำให้ดู by action, by doing it yourself. For example, for you to teach like the teenagers, to teach your children, when you say like, oh, children, keep the precepts, it's good for you, do not steal, do not tell lies, it's good for you. But if you still tell lies, they're gonna say like, why should I keep when you still do it? So sometimes speaking, teaching is not the right way at that moment. So you should teach them by doing first. And the third one, เท่าที่ฟังทำดูมีความสุข third one, let them see that you are happy, that your life is better. And if they see like, oh, they said that they keep the precept. What are the precepts? Why you look so happy? Why you have the, like the better life? How? And then tell them. So to give the Dhamma, there are three ways: by speaking, by speech, through actions, and let them see that your life is better. Okay. I hope I answer your question, Joseph. Oh, you can write Thai สาธุอนุโมทนา like you can share merits when you do good deeds. You can share merits to your parents. Okay, what I have done, whatever, the good action, the wholesome qualities I have done, I would like to share to my parents. I hope this is another factor for my parents to be able to see what is right and what is wrong, something like that. It's actually like, it's good for you as well. Like, okay, I try my best, and this is another way for me to help my parents as well. Okay. If there is no more question, then we're gonna end this discussion today because it's an hour already. I hope you learned something useful because I did a Dhamma session in Thai and it's in this topic, and I do it again in English because I think it's up to you. It's not about the past. Don't mention about the past life. Don't mention about when in the childhood, in the upbringing or environment when you're a child, something like that. Think of it at this moment, what you're gonna do, what you're gonna choose to do with your life. If you are wealthy, healthy now, good merit. Do it again. Do not try to waste the good merit in the past with the bad deeds at that very moment. In Thailand, we use the word like, do not อย่าใช้บุญเก่า do not use your old merit until it's you do not drain all your old merit. Cultivate more. Do good deeds. Just like saving the merit in the saving account. Do not drain all your money. You have to keep, and then you make more. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for the talk. Great discussion, said Pumika. Thank you, Jay Bowman, Anumodhana Ayya. Joseph, is there a recording for the Thai? Yes, it's in the, I don't know what's it called. There's in the YouTube. ธรรมะจากป่าใหญ่ You can search in the YouTube. It's in Thai. I use the word. You can. I don't know. It's in Thai, but like you cannot choose the past, but you cannot choose where to go in your life or something like that. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you, Dharma Learner. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Joseph. Before we leave, then we say Sadhu together 3 times. Sadhu, 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 Anumodhami. May you all be safe and well, and may you all be, have these 5 qualities: the faith with wisdom, have the ethical conduct with wisdom, sutta, listen a lot, jaka, generosity, and wisdom. If you have these 5 qualities, then your life is not in vain. And may we all reach the right liberation, right awakening, nibbana, nirvana, nibbana paccayo hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a good day, everyone.